Well, good afternoon. We've been talking about the advancement of rain, and rain is creeping towards us very slowly. In fact, it's starting to clip the very southern and western side of our state. If we take a look at Storm Track Live, you can see it's part of a giant system here. This has definitely morphed and come together over the last few hours. You can see it circling Des Moines, Peoria, Springfield, and all of this heavy rain that's circling up towards central Illinois is headed towards us. So if we stop this for you and we zoom on in, we can show you where the leading edge is at this time. And that loop that I just showed you is over 3 hours, so you can see the real movement of this system. But these showers aren't moving very quickly, only at about 25 miles per hour. So we're going to start to track them into Van Buren County at about 2 o'clock. If we get up towards Allegan County, right around 3 o'clock, Kent County, right around 4 o'clock, that we'll start to see this rain really take over. So if you have errands to run or if you have to get out on the road before then, the good news is you've got a couple of hours here before it starts to get soggy. But once it moves in, it looks like widespread steady rain. Now, the other thing I want to point out before we move on is the fact that you can see just a little bit of this pink popping up on the radar. And as this system pushes on in, we could definitely see some freezing rain mixing in with the rain, especially north of Grand Rapids, just because our temperatures are kind of slow to warm. We've been seeing this warming trends, but it's been slow, and we mentioned a few days ago that it was going to be gradual. Here's a look at those temperatures outside right now. We're just above freezing for most locations, but you'll notice Big Rapids still right around 33. And these are just a handful of weather stations across West Michigan. So that means there are a few weather stations embedded on in that are still close to freezing. So as this rain rolls in, if it hits the surface and we're close to freezing, then we could see those slick spots develop. The good news is we're going to see all of this rain push on in with warmer temperatures. So even if we see some freezing rain very early this evening and overnight, eventually we'll see the warmer weather win out, and we'll also see this rain erase any slick spots. So here we are. I fast forwarded to about 6 o'clock. This is when the really heavy stuff starts to push on in. It'll impact our lakeshore communities first, and then eventually edge on over to places like Berry County and Ionia. Notice this right here, 9 o'clock is one of those time frames that we're really confident that we could see that mix in. 3 a.m., don't be surprised if you wake up to hear heavy rain, and then tomorrow morning, your morning commute, soggy. We don't start to clear out until we get to about 2 o'clock tomorrow. So with this rain, again, we'll have the warmth. Today, we'll slowly feel it. We'll slightly feel it up near 40 degrees with our winds out of the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. But you can see how far south this is. So this is going to be dragging up tons of warm air along with it. So much so that even though our average for this time of year are the low to mid 30s, we're going to be sitting at 45 for your day on Tuesday. And it's going to be warm enough to give us a high of 40 very early Wednesday. Now, Wednesday's Christmas Eve, and we're going to see our temperatures tumble on down throughout the day. Once we get close to nightfall, we'll see this transition from rain over to snow, and it's still looking like we've got a pretty decent shot of at least seeing an inch on the ground for Christmas morning. What I love about this, I know that this system has been very finicky, very difficult, but consistently it looks like the snow would fall overnight. And yes, I think that's my favorite part, because kids that go to bed, you know, seeing the green lawns might still have that chance of waking up and seeing that white Christmas morning.
That is
still
so exciting.
like it. And you know, tonight, coming up at 5, we're going to be talking about this more. We're going to have new model data coming out, and so we'll be able to refine that forecast even better.
Okay, Ellen, that is exciting to wake up to snow, even still for me.